Well, Bennett Kessler filed the following report. Mammoth Brewing Company is selling more beer than they can make. Now, that happy position has led Sean and Joyce Turner, owners of the company, into a serious look at expansion. They now have an eye on Inyo County-owned land south of Jack in the Box in Bishop. Joyce Turner is leading the new brewery project. Now, Turner is quick to say that Mammoth Brewery is not leaving Mammoth Lakes. She said, quote, "We will maintain our presence in Mammoth with an eventual relocation from Whiskey Creek to another location in town and expand our ability to produce," end quote. She said expansion will most likely happen in Bishop, where they would plan to, quote, "crank out kegs, bottles, and cans," end quote, and distribute throughout the western United States. Right now, the company sells to Yosemite, Tahoe Truckee, and Inyo and Mono, and offers a tasting room on Burner Street in Mammoth. Now, Turner said she and others have searched virtually all available parcels in Inyo and Mono counties and think the Bishop land is the best choice. "We want to grow from a local brewery to an Eastern Sierra regional brewery," she said. Turner sees this plan to grow as only positive for Mammoth, where the brew house will remain, for Bishop, and for the region. Now, Mammoth Brewing Company has captured the spotlight in the beer industry recently. In San Diego in May at the World Beer Cup held by the Brewers Association, Mammoth Brewing brought home a gold medal for their double nut brown porter and a bronze for their Real McCoy Amber Ale. Now, last weekend, Sean Turner said Mammoth Brewing's participation in the 17th annual Festival of Beers and Bluesapalooza was the, quote, "biggest year so far," end quote. With an additional fourth night in this year's events, Thursday was a free night, which created a locals reunion of some sort. "We expected about 500, said Turner, and more than 1,000 showed up. Now, Joyce Turner said she knows some may be worried that Mammoth Brewing will leave Mammoth. She said that's not the case and that it's all about expansion and a production facility. The Inyo County Board of Supervisors had scheduled a closed session Tuesday involving Mammoth Brewing and another session with Joseph Enterprises, also interested in the J Street property as part of a possible part of the county office complex project. Asked if she could reveal more details about all of that, Turner said she couldn't. She did say it's all in the talking stages. Turner said, quote, "We so want this to be a positive thing for Mammoth, Bishop, and the Eastern Sierra. People need to understand that we are keeping what is best in mind for the brewery and for their community." Well, press releases were flying this afternoon, issued today by the Mammoth Lakes Police Department and the Forest Service, and this was regarding the high increase of bear activity this summer. Now, from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, states that the drought conditions in the Eastern Sierra have resulted in a reduction in natural food for bears. As a result, the bears are beginning to behave more like they typically do in September or October. As their natural food sources dwindle, they become more reliant on food from people. Now, earlier in the summer, the problem was primarily in the Lakes Basin, where one bear in particular became proficient at stealing anglers' fish and raiding unsecured ice chests and backpacks. Now, in the past few weeks, the problem has moved into the town of Mammoth Lakes. Wildlife specialist Steve Searles and Mammoth Lakes Police Department officers have been handling multiple bear calls each day. Just recently, on Tuesday of this week, they responded to a residence where a bear had spent several hours in a parked car doing considerable damage. Several other cars containing food have also been broken into. Now, as always, one of the biggest problems is unsecured dumpsters. It is vitally important for businesses, residents, and visitors to always properly secure the dumpsters. All food, ice chests, and sweet-smelling products like shampoo should never be left outdoors or in a car overnight. Bears, according to the press release from Mammoth Lakes Police Department, are highly intelligent animals, and when they see an ice chest, they know it may contain food. So if a bear sees an ice chest in the back of a car or truck, they will figure out a way to get into the ice chest, and it's usually an expensive repair. Now, the Mammoth Lakes Police Department passes along the best ways of preventing bears from becoming dependent on humans for food. following some common sense rules. Never leave food out for bears or other wild animals. Securely store food and fragrant items such as shampoo and deodorant in an airtight container. And when camping, use a bear-proof box. Don't leave food, even in a cooler, in a car tent or other unsecure location. Don't leave pet food outdoors or use a bird feeder. Bears love bird seed. Always deposit trash in a bear-proof trash can or dumpster. Keep your car locked and your garage door closed, and close and lock ground floor windows when no one is home. Now, the Mammoth Lakes press release states that, remember, a fed bear is a dead bear. Bears that have been conditioned to rely on humans for food become unmanageable and, unfortunately, sometimes have to be destroyed. You're asked to please help keep the bears healthy, enjoy their presence, but do not encourage behavior which is harmful to them. Don't feed the bears. For more information on coexisting with wildlife or to report a bear problem, you can contact the town's wildlife specialist, Steve Searles, at 760-937-BEAR. And we have this from the Forest Service. The U.S. Forest Service is asking that all forest users give careful consideration on how they are storing their food and trash. Food storage lockers, often referred to as bear boxes, are in place in campgrounds and trailheads where there are known bear issues. Now, the press release from the Forest Service states that backcountry and wilderness visitors must store their food properly. In some areas, bear canisters or storage devices are required. Counterbalancing food in trees is not 100% effective, and the use of food storage devices is encouraged throughout the backcountry and the wilderness. The Forest Service is asking the public to help keep the wildlife wild. For more information, you can call or visit any Forest Service visitor center or ranger station. Well, we're getting information from the Eno County Sheriff's Department that a deceased male body was discovered Sunday about noon by a backcountry hiker. That was on Sawmill Trail east of Aberdeen Resort. And again, that's according to a press release from the Eno County Sheriff's Department. Eno County search and rescue members and a sheriff's investigator ascended the 2.5 miles up the trail and located the body. According to the coroner, a positive ID on this body should be made by this Monday. Cause of death is under investigation. Now, there is some better news. That overdue hiker, Shyam Das, a 68-year-old man from Saratoga, he was located Tuesday afternoon by search teams below the ledges in the Mirror Lake area. Das is believed to have fallen. Now, Eno County Search and Rescue, along with Fresno Search and Rescue and Mono County Search and Rescue, had been actively looking for Das since Monday afternoon. CHP helicopter H-80 assisted in the recovery efforts by conducting a hoist operation and transporting Das to Southern Inyo Hospital, where he is being treated for critical injuries. Now, according to the press release from the Eno County Sheriff's Department, Das set out to summit Mount Whitney with a group of hikers on Sunday, August 5th. And then after reaching Lone Pine Lake, the press release states that Das became tired and stayed behind with one member of the hiking group to rest and nap. When he woke up, he was given instructions to go back down the trail and wait. And at this point, his other companion began to ascend the trail with the assumption that Das would head back to camp. At approximately 2 p.m., Das was spotted at trail camp by the rest of the hiking group after they had summited Whitney and were descending the trail. Now, according to the press release, Das refused to go back down the trail with the rest of his group and insisted upon summiting Whitney alone. Now, the last known interaction anyone had with Das was around sunset in the trail camp area on Sunday evening when an unrelated hiking group noticed Das wandering. He was offered food and water before he departed. Now, in addition to the search team mentioned, Eno County Sheriff's Office would like to thank the California Emergency Management Agency for coordinating mutual aid. Well, the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair is right around the corner now, Labor Day weekend. But due to some severe cuts, and quite truthfully, fair officials had been pondering it for a while, the fair will only be 4 days this week, Thursday through Sunday, and not have the Labor Day Monday holiday. Now, the theme is Forever Red, White, and Blue at the Tri-County Fair. That was submitted by Tina Bolin of Bishop. And once again, the fair is packed with great competitions, entertainment, and, well, most of all, fun. Now, the Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair, you might want to start preparing your finest homemade and homegrown items to bring to the fair. You can compete for cash, trophies, ribbons, and other great prizes. It's pretty easy, and you can download your free copy of the exhibitor guidebook at the website, tricountyfair.com. If you would like an exhibitor guidebook, they're trying to reduce costs and conserve natural resources. They are available at the fairgrounds and other locations around town. But again, get those homemade and homegrown items ready for the fair. Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair, Thursday, August 30th through Sunday, September 2nd. Eastern Sierra Tri-County Fair, the Battle of the Bands, some local bands, one of the great highlights, I'm sure, of this year's fair. If you would like more information, anything to do with the Tri-County Fair, you can give them a call at 760-873-3588, or again, check out that website, tricountyfair.com. We'll be back with more news.